Welcome back to episode 38 of the Xbox North podcast. This week, the Xbox North crew discusses Guardian of the Galaxy not hitting sales expectation, Call of Duty skipping 2023, maybe, possibly. We also discuss Atlas bringing a major RPG to the Xbox platform with Soul Hacker 2. Will Persona possibly follow? Also, is Halo Infinite dying? All this and much more on this week's episode of the Xbox North podcast. But with that out of the way, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like this episode if you can. But Dan, how you doing, bud?
Not doing too bad. Been working lots this week. I'm switching over to a new job soon, so it'll be interesting to have that change up next week and everything. Yeah, I've been trying to get into some other games and everything, but I keep playing DayZ with Ryan, so not too much new stuff there. Yeah. If anything, we're getting deeper in, and it's kind of dangerous. But I want to look at getting one of those, either Dying Light or Elden Ring, like we were talking about.
Elden Ring is calling my name.
It's looking good, and like the more I look into it, the more I'm like, I kind of lean that way. Especially because like my main like point for getting Dying Light 2 was to play it with Ryan or you and everything. And if Ryan's like, it's pretty glitchy right now and everything, and like he crashed a few times and everything, it's a lot harder to want to fully jump on that route.
Yeah,
but I know Elden Ring's going to be an equally like massive game too. I know I'll have fun in Dying Light either way, but it will be frustrating if I'm crashing and getting booted out of the game, right? Elden Ring so far has gotten like just ridiculous reviews.
Yeah, we'll kind of talk about that later on. And also, it just seems like there's a sense of kind of like wonder to the game, you know? Like I haven't really explored a game like that. I've explored open world games, but I haven't really done like a Souls-like game. I'd say the closest Souls-like game I've gotten to is like the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I did, in the end, beat that game. So, yeah, no. And the fact that
on easy.
But the fact that we could, like, let's say we come across a boss that's too powerful, you can kind of go back and grind a bit and make your character a little bit more powerful. But then you can be like, hey, come into my world and help me fight this boss, and we can just like overcome these like crazy challenges together. And something about like some of the bosses in this look nuts. Like they're huge NPCs just like stomping around this game world, destroying trees. You're fighting giants and stuff. Like it's wild. It seems wild. So
it seems like it's very much like a like Dark Souls and like Wildlands kind of mixed together. And like I haven't really gotten into any of the Dark Souls games or anything, but like I did enjoy Star Wars, and I want to replay it, but I set it to hard difficulty, being like, no, I'll be fine. I'm a good gamer. I'm super good, but I'm getting old fast. And now I'm stuck at that point where like I've gotten pretty darn far on hard, and I don't necessarily want to start over again. I'm not sure if I can change my difficulty. I don't think I can.
Oh, you might be able to. It's definitely something to look into. But
I think I've also been like if I do complete it still on hard and I just keep coming back to it, then eventually I'll get that extra achievement they usually give you. And I haven't even looked into if that's there.
It's like, I just want that extra achievement for some reason.
But if I never complete the game, then I'm not going to get it anyway, so I might as well change that difficulty.
There you go. Watching anything interesting?
Not too much. I did get the Crave TV work in and everything, so I'm going to try.
Oh, you did get it working.
Yeah, I figured out I was logging in the wrong way. I was using the main login window there, but what you're supposed to do is like if you're a subscriber or whatever, then you go in through like a different way and you can pick which thing you're with.
Yeah, like your provider.
And then fill out the info. Yeah, exactly. So I got in there, and now I just got to make some time to watch it with Lanta. So we'll watch Peacemaker and everything and get caught up on that. But that's the hard part, is making time for that.
Yeah, no, time for TV is hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many shows I just want to watch. I'm glad I finished The Expanse, but now I'm trying to get through like more JoJo Bizarre Adventure, but there's so much of it. Like, you gotta love an anime where they're like, a season is like 45 episodes. So I've been watching it at like 1.5 speed. They allow you on Netflix.
Just to get through it faster.
Which is funny because they speak really drowned out. So sometimes it just sounds like they're speaking normal. I'm just like, so that's been working for me.
That's funny. I just finished Raising Dion too. That one was pretty good. Okay. Because like, it's a family-friendly show and everything too, so nothing's too intense or too crazy. But it's like the storylines sort of a little complex, I guess. But it was cool. It was a nice little, like, it was well done for like a family-friendly superhero TV show. Like, I've been used to watching The Boys and all these crazy, like, heavier superhero shows and everything on top of like The Flash and all that. And it's been getting like those are getting a little much. Like, Lanta doesn't even want to watch some of those with me, but I've watched them anyways just to get through them and see what all the hype's about. I enjoyed them still, but yeah, they got dark sometimes.
They put a Cuphead show on Netflix over the weekend, and Oliver's watched it like at least like 6 or 7 times already. Yeah. The whole show.
I watched the first episode just to be like, because the game's not really for kids.
The show says for 7+. My son's 4. Almost,
and I was I was skeptical, but I was like, okay, it's nothing too bad. It's basically like slapstick comedy. It's like our Looney Tunes. When we were younger, we had the same thing.
Yeah, it's like old Looney Tunes cartoons. So like, I watched that stuff when I was a kid. So,
yeah, exactly.
And he hasn't like tried to kill his sister since he's watched it, so that's good.
Yeah, that's always good. That's always a plus. Right? Because Cuphead and Mughead are the two like main characters, I think, right?
Yeah.
So they're at least working together, helping each other out and everything.
Mugman,
that's right. Yeah.
Mugman. So.
Yeah.
No,
you playing any games this week?
Well, I think I'm like halfway through The Evil Within 2 still. That game is absolutely phenomenal. Play that game. It's not as like horror as you think. It does get scary, but it's like you're playing it on casual.
More of like a psychological thriller.
Yeah, it's more like an action, like a third-person action horror game. So it's really good though. Like really, really good. And I started playing Remnant from the Ashes, but I'm pretty pissed off with that game right now. And it just happened just before the podcast. So I've been playing the game a lot through cloud streaming. For some reason, my old LG phone, I think it's called like the V30. For the longest time, it wasn't charging. Yeah. And this was the one before my new one. I'm like, okay, that sucks. It's just like a useless, nice smartphone. And I don't know why. I just decided
to... wireless charger this time or anything?
Well, I've tried wireless charging. Well, the thing is, it would wireless charge, like I'd see the light turn on, but it wouldn't turn on when I held the thing on. So I don't know why. I took it out of the side thing and I just put it on the wireless charger, and an image shows up on the page. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you're working now? And then it decides to start charging again. I'm like, okay, cool. So the nice thing about that phone, it's super light. So now it's like just permanently on the controller stand on my phone. Nice. And I've been playing Remnant from the Ash. Okay, so back to Remnant from the Ash. I've been playing it a lot through cloud streaming. I first started on console. And then when I jumped back on to play it on console, like not through cloud streaming, it doesn't let me load my character in. And I even started a new character, and it doesn't even load my new character in. It just says validating and goes right back to character screen. I uninstalled it, did the cloud streaming on the console, it lets me go through fine. I'm like, okay. And then I reinstalled it, and it does the same exact thing. I deleted my save file off the console to see if it maybe will sync with the cloud.
Yeah, like re-download, yeah.
And nothing. So I cannot play this game locally on console anymore. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with this? This is absolutely crazy. Cool. Which I was starting to really enjoy the game. And now I don't think I'm going to play it because of what's going on.
Play it on cloud, yeah.
Yeah, all I can do is play it on cloud, which it works really well on cloud. Like, I'm shocked. It's amazing. It's just as good as the console. So I guess there's not much complaining there, but the resolution's higher when you're playing it locally. It just looks crisper and stuff. So
yeah.
So that is super disappointing. Well, I'm gonna have to tweet at them or something and be like, "Are you aware of this like catastrophic, massive, like game breaking, like the fact that I uninstalled it and reinstalled it and still like
the fact that you just can't play it at all like on console anymore. That's like a serious problem.
The fact that I started a new character and it doesn't even let you use your new character.
And like I could understand if there were more issues like the opposite way. Like it was like, okay, like the cloud game isn't working quite properly, like with the game save or something, because it's trying to like port that over to cloud, and who knows, there could be a problem on the server or whatever. There's so many things that could go wrong there. But there's like a lot less that can go wrong when it's installed directly on your console and you're playing it directly off the hardware there.
It's outrageous. I can't believe it. So there's that. Talked about a couple of the shows I've been watching. So just trying to get through that. But, you know, kids are good. Ellie's getting used to her new bed. It was so funny the first night she fell. No, it wasn't the first night. The second night she fell out. So we're like, what the hell was that noise? Like thump. So that hasn't happened again since. So, you know, your body tends to like, oh, crap. I should not do that.
Right? We even just got a like extra pillow and we just put it next to her youngest, and she doesn't really like roll around that much anymore. Like out of like she rolled over the pillow a couple times when we first put it there.
Yeah.
And like now she doesn't. But
she's a wanderer though. So she wanders her room and whatnot. But she can't get out of her room. We put one of those like door handle.
Yeah, just the kid safe door handle ones.
Yeah, so but you know, they're good. God, she's so defiant though. She'll just like run around her room and you just have to like, yo, I hear you. Like, you think I can't hear you running around? Your little thump 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 of your little patter feet. Come on, bud. But you know, let's get into the show and kind of a bit of the news of the week. All right, so it looks like 2023's Call of Duty will be delayed until 2024, making 2023 the first year without a Call of Duty since the franchise annualized. And I think it like annualized like what? Like early 2000? I think it was like the start of the 360 when the Call of Duty 2 came out, and then it was pretty much annualized since Call of Duty 2, right?
Yeah, something like that. It's been like just one after the other for a as long as I can remember now. Like I remember playing 3 when like very early.
That was
I remember playing
1
really early on, but
yeah, and it seems like they got into annualizing that pretty early because it was Call of Duty 2 and then Call of Duty 3 and then 4 Modern Warfare and then what was
I think it was at 3. I think it was at 3 that it started annualizing.
Yeah, and was it Black Ops then? But either way, like it's been coming out every single like the fact that when Microsoft actually finally buys Activision Blizzard, we're gonna get like what, like almost like 20 years worth of Call of Duty games, just like boom, right on. And there's been like at least like 5, maybe 7 or 8 campaigns I haven't played. So I'm going to just download them and just like smash through all those like campaigns I never
Absolutely.
touched.
Just like, campaign after campaign. Those are always good to play.
Always good.
Like,
yeah. I think I haven't played since Call of Duty Ghost campaign, which was awful. If I remember, it wasn't that great. So, but Call of Duty finally skipping a year.
I think that's got to be due to like Microsoft acquiring them, and
you think?
I think so, and I think it's like them basically like talking to the like developers at Call of Duty and everything, and like, are you guys comfortable with like bringing this out every year, or do you want to do something different? And like, are there changes you want to make in it or whatever? And I think there's probably enough, like because when you're being acquired by a new company, like you're not going to sit there and be like, okay, we're going to stay exactly the same as what we were doing, and on a new project, then we'll change it and stuff. It's like, no, like for $70 billion, like we're going to change up a few things, make sure, stuff changes, especially at Activision Blizzard. Like there was so much problems with the people that were there and in place, and with those people changing, then the whole schedule changes. The whole, like, what the goal was sort of too changes.
Also 2023, like, could be early 2023 or halfway through 2023 that the deal finally solidifies. And they might, like, internally, they obviously know it's going to happen. Like, so Microsoft might be like, hey, we want to really assess what we're doing at that time. Or maybe 2023 is Warzone 2. Maybe we are still going to get a Call of Duty game, but it will be Warzone 2. Because, like, how really hard is coming out with a kind of sequel to a Warzone? You are technically making one map, and I'm pretty sure they are working on a new engine that is more fluid or malleable. Or
well, it'll be interesting to see if it's even just like a whole revamp of just Warzone even. Like, instead of doing Warzone 2, like, just introduce like a big, event thing that's going to change everything. You load in the new engine and stuff, and like just basically replace the game launch.
I think it will. Yeah, I don't think it will be. It will be a Warzone 2, but it will replace the existing Warzone launcher. Yeah. Kind of like when
it'll be a Warzone 2.
Chapter 2 for Fortnite came out. So, or like when Fortnite switches over to Unreal 5 engine, like it'll just be a whole like flip of. Or they could do the kind of Activision route and be like, we're starting from scratch, But I think they look at games like Fortnite and they see that the engine is so, like, they can do concerts in the game world and stuff like that. And
a lot more.
I don't know if they
the game.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to maybe reassess how, like, realistic this world is, so they can get like super meta-y, which is like, let's bring in Master Chief and stuff. But that's what they'll do, no doubt. But
I'd honestly probably play it more if they did. So
we'll see what happens, right? But taking a year off is a big deal, in my opinion, for an annual franchise like this. Kind of like when Assassin's Creed decided to take a year off, and then it really kind of changed its formula to almost like a more Souls-like experience in the combat. So I would like to see them go kind of back to their roots of being a more gritty story. Like we even talked in past episodes, like they were known for kind of pushing the bar in subject matter and kind of putting the, putting you in the driver's seat.
Stuff,
putting you in the driver's seat of crazy stuff. Yeah, like, or seeing like crazy betrayals happen to you, like just like crazy twists.
Yeah.
Oh, plot twist. Excuse me. Yeah, plot twist. Sneezing my face off. But I don't know what they would do. I think it would be Treyarch's Call of Duty, because this year's Modern Warfare 2.0, kind of like it's Modern Warfare 2 again.
2.2, 2.5.
Yeah, 2.2. Yeah, 2. Whatever. It's 2 again. And that's Infinity Ward, and I think Treyarch is the one after that. So Treyarch's going to get a lot of the time, and I find Treyarch makes the better Call of Duty these days. So they have a real opportunity to bring that franchise into a more like 2024. Like, what will the game look like at that point? Like, that's pretty far into the life cycle of these consoles. Like, things are going to look pretty good. Yeah. So
I'm interested to see if like maybe they were just like, okay, like the game we're making isn't quite working on this engine or something. Let's see if we can port it over to a different engine or
maybe that extra year is we are, updating our engines to be, next gen only engines to use things like VRR and finally have a game that uses that velocity architecture that we see on the box that we've never seen a game use yet. It's on the box of the Xbox and we haven't even seen a game use it.
My pipe dream for it is that like halfway through 2023 or whatever, they'll just announce that VR is coming to Xbox and Call of Duty is going to be their headliner or something.
I hope VR comes eventually.
I do. I really hope so too, because like it's a well-designed console and everything. It's standardized. You could make standardized VR games a lot better. Like the PlayStation VR, yes, is going to be nice and all, especially the PlayStation 5 one. Like like I was disappointed at what they did with the PlayStation 1 VR. They didn't do that properly. Like they had I guess the console was kind of lacking to be able to actually put in like a full proper VR. But now
they got cloud streaming now.
Yeah.
They got cloud streaming. They're like,
that's true.
At that point, like when I'm playing Remnant from the Ashes, this is a Twitch-based shooter. It's working. It feels like I'm playing on the console. So like, I feel like a VR headset would almost be in their benefit to be like, oh, we'll just cloud stream it to you instead of us putting all this hardware. Why don't you put all the hardware inside there to do like AI processing stuff for like your surrounding areas?
Just to streamline it,
and then cloud stream
pick up all the items in the room and everything, and like just stream it straight to your headset. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but
that's they're getting really good with xCloud.
Yeah. We're gonna have to start a VR podcast.
Right? Unless it comes
VR,
to Xbox, then
NFT,
it's still an
and
Xbox
crypto.
podcast.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, I think they have a great opportunity to reinvent the franchise for Call of Duty, especially the multiplayer version. Like the Call of Duty is the multiplayer king, right? So if they take a year off and then it comes back in 2024 or maybe even longer, like I would say even like, you know what, take 2023 and 2024 off. Take both those years off. Come back in 2025 with maybe like the launch of a new pro version of a console or whatever,
The Elden Ring of Call of Duties.
Yeah, exactly.
Won all those 10 ratings. Come on.
But like if they need another year, give them that extra year. Make that Call of Duty 2024, 2025 like the most insane visually. Use everything in your disposal. Reinvent the wheel. I feel like they have a really good opportunity. So I'm excited for that. And that will be the first big release of a Call of Duty game under the Microsoft franchise. So it almost would be like, I feel like if it comes out in 2024 and it's shit, it's that's tough,
like,
right?
oh.
It's like the first one under Microsoft, and it's bad, you know? I'd be like, no, delay it and make sure it's the best thing it can be and get the best people on it possible. But talking about a highly anticipated, more so a highly anticipated developer finally coming to the Xbox platform, Atlas, the highly acclaimed developer of the Persona series, and is finally bringing a franchise to the Xbox, and it's reviving a classic franchise. Their Soul Hacker franchise with Soul Hacker 2. So I actually never thought they would actually make a sequel to this game. You probably don't know Soul Hacker.
I had never even heard of it before it came up in the topics we were going to talk about and everything. It looks like a cool game, though. It's very anime-esque.
Yeah. So the reason I bring this up is because Atlas is notorious for kind of just skipping out on Xbox. Like, Persona is a huge JRPG franchise. It's very weebish, but it's a huge franchise. It's all based in the timid. I would, if I say it, I'm just gonna butcher it. Well, never mind. But Persona is a huge game, and people have been wanting Persona to come to Xbox so long, and people have always been so confused because the relationship, it's published by by Sega, and Sega has such a good relationship with Microsoft. It's kind of baffling, but I feel like Atlas kind of calls the shots more so with this. And you can say maybe with this Soul Hacker, maybe they're testing the waters with possibly releasing more franchises going forward, but it looks like a interesting turn-based RPG with that kind of classic Persona kind of art style to it. But I like the kind of like cyber anime kind of style to the game. And I always like a revival of an older franchise, especially based off their history. And you know, they've been working on Persona for so long that it's kind of nice to see them kind of do an offshoot of this. Like I said, you probably don't know. Have you heard of Persona? Or
I've heard of Persona and everything, and I'm just not a huge JRPG guy, but I've heard of Persona, and I know it's a pretty big franchise.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Shimigami Tensei. Franchise. They do, the Shimigami Tensei just came out with a Switch game recently, and it's all based in that kind of world. But from what I know, I haven't really played Persona because it's been on PlayStation. I'm an Xbox player mostly, so maybe if I get a PlayStation 5 in the future, maybe, I don't know. If you get your hands on one.
Yeah, or with their redesign and everything to try and, keep up production and stuff. Hopefully they'll come out with a smaller version too, like the Series S.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's nice to see more Japanese games coming to Xbox. So it would have sucked to see this game announced and saw just no Xbox banner at the end. So it was relieving to see Atlas and Xbox together at the end of this. So a part of me is just I should buy this game with my money to say, hey, Atlas, make games for Xbox, please. People want your games on Xbox.
Yeah. Support the developer and hopefully push them to be like, okay, maybe we do have a pretty big audience here. The money's worth it, so why not make it, right?
Exactly. And maybe it'll come on in Game Pass. So, God, I'm so curious what next month's Game Pass games are going to be. I have a feeling we're going to get, my gut tells me that we're going to get that Final Fantasy Souls-like game next month. So, I don't know. Part of me thinks we are, but because
we might even get Battlefield 2042 just to just so they can try and push that.
It's a disaster. Well, you know what? Speaking of disasters, apparently, and Square Enix announced that the Guardians of the Galaxy game, which, highly acclaimed, highly rated, beautiful, looks amazing game, didn't hit internal expectations for sales. And this is starting to become a trend with this publisher. Are their expectations too high for these licensed franchise? Like, the Avengers game didn't do really well for them.
I think their expectations are set so high because of how well the movies are doing and everything. And I think they're making the mistake of being like it's probably even like Marvel too. Like, I'd imagine they're asking for a big chunk, and so they have like very high expectations because Square Enix needs to make that chunk too, and they got to make it for Marvel and pay them off for all the characters they're using and everything. And you'd hope that especially with No Way Home becoming one of the biggest friggin' movies of all time too, biggest box office hit and everything, there should be money coming in from these games more. But it's just not that was just it. I played the Avengers. I haven't tried Guardians of the Galaxy yet, but Andrew said it was awesome.
Yeah.
And playing Avengers, it was very much a okay, this is cool. But then it just very quickly became just repetitive. And you couldn't really change the stuff you wanted to change. The character doesn't really change much for any of your items that you got.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of unsatisfying.
Very unsatisfying. Yeah, no, I did not like I liked the first, let's say, handful of missions of the Avengers game. But they even said, games like the Tomb Raider franchise didn't really hit expectations, even though they did make 3 of them, actually. But they said that didn't really hit expectations. It just feels like the Deus Ex series, they even abandoned that because it wasn't hitting their expectations. It seems like all their Western...
Too high.
Exactly. And I feel like Square, they should get rid of their Western developers, like the people who make Guardians of the Galaxy and Crystal Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics right now is working with Microsoft on Perfect Dark with the initiative. So they're going to be taking mostly... So they're using a Square Enix developer, Crystal, which they are amazing. They made the... sadly, they made that Avengers game, but they made the Tomb Raider games, which are absolutely incredible. So if they're more focused and stuff, they do make a really good game. But I feel like Square should just cut those developers, maybe sell them off to Microsoft maybe, and just focus on their Japanese stuff that they clearly make money off of. Final Fantasy XIV is a huge, one of the, if not the biggest RPG, MMORPG in the world right now. And their Final Fantasy stuff just does well. Or maybe even take one of these developers and make a Final Fantasy game with a more Western kind of take to it. So
start putting all your games on Game Pass.
Well, and how would you feel if your publisher, every time you come out with a game and they're like, it didn't hit expectation, it'd just be like, okay, I don't even want to be here. And Eidos Montreal, it sounds like such a nice place to work, man. They do 4-day work weeks, but you get paid for a full week. So you don't work on the Monday. Come on. They're living the dream over there, but how long are they even going to be open for? So I don't know. It's kind of sad to see that every time they come out with a highly acclaimed game, that they're just but not we're proud of what we made and stuff like that. It's it didn't.
Yeah, they're not standing behind their developers and being we did great. This is awesome. Yeah. It's just if all your expectations are not being met, then they're way too high.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but
so, and it sounds like we're not even going to get a sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a shame because I hear it was one of the best games of last year, and just like a really good game in general. But I love that developer. Like Deus Ex is amazing. Like those games are amazing. So I don't know. I hope the best for them, but if these developers keep on missing sales expectation, they'll just like absorb them into like a support role for Final Fantasy 14, right?
yeah, pretty much.
That's what they did with every developer under Activision's. They're just like, oh, they're even starting to fold like Blizzard Studios into it. They're just like, oh, your Blizzard game not doing so well? He's like, you're going to work on Call of Duty now. I'm just like, dude, they're Blizzard, man. Like,
right?
Blizzard. But I don't know. Square is a funny company. But I hope that Final Fantasy Stranger's Paradise is a good game, so I'm expecting that to be pretty good.
That should be cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
at least we know that stuff's coming out. I guess we'll have to wait and see what's coming out for Halo.
For real, right? Yeah. Speaking of Halo, so yeah, let's talk about Halo for a bit. So now that we're a couple months past Halo Infinite's launch, I'm about halfway through the first season of Halo. What do you think the future of this game has? I feel like it's dying. Like we don't even have a roadmap at this point. The transparency has just been pretty awful. The like the update cycle has just been like completely dead. Like I was looking just prior to this podcast at the update cycle for Halo 5. Every month we got a substantial update for that game. Substantial. Every single month, like clockwork, and we had like a dope trailer for it, and we just
there's cool new game modes coming out. It's like
new weapons, all
little things here and there, but like on Infinite so far, it's been kind of disappointing. I was hoping there was going to be a lot more to look forward to this year.
Considering it's been like 6 years pretty much since we were waiting for that game. So it's like they weren't even prepared for this year of release at all. So it really shows that game still needed like maybe even another year or so.
Yep.
To it. But
I just want firefight and co-op and stuff. Just give it to me.
Yeah, I would feel I feel like co-op is not even enough at that point.
Yeah.
You know? Like we'll play co-op, we'll play through the thing once, but I don't know, like an open world co-op doesn't... It sounds fun, but it doesn't sound as fun. I kind of like stomping through the story. I really wish it was more of almost like a traditional Halo story. Open world's cool, but I almost feel like at this point, the 10-year cycle plan for this game needs to be abandoned. They need to abandon this. They need to work on what they feel like is coming in the next year, the roadmap they have planned, because they clearly have a roadmap plan. Make that the best that it can be, and then drop this game after. Come out with a true next-gen version of Halo, a sequel to this, that is next-gen only and PC, no Halo, no Xbox One, and use this as a foundation for that next game. Make it maybe open world again, but do the things that you want it to do, almost like ODST it, right? Like use your assets and stuff, make it better.
And it's hard to say that even just because like I've been there and I had to stick around with the last gen for like a while, but there's such a massive gap between these two. It's like making it cross-gen is just, it's difficult on the developer, and like it's difficult to even play on any of the lower end consoles. Like we've seen with countless games. Like even DayZ, like I'm playing with, and it's a 16-year-old game. Like it's just keeps getting new updates and everything, and like, well, it's based on a 16-year-old game anyways. But like it's on Xbox One, there's a few more crashes. It's like it was having trouble loading stuff. It was just not the greatest experience.
Mm-hmm. But or if they are going to continue updating this, they need to abandon the Xbox One console, kind of like how Destiny abandoned the Xbox 360. Like after its first expansion, they were just like, no, we're not doing that. The new expansion's a little more ambitious than the actual game, so too bad, so sad. And
I feel
they
like
need
if
to do that.
Happen, though, it's not going to happen until like next year.
But
they committed to the 10 years, and they're going to stick to it anyways, and they're just going to spread it out more. But I think we're eventually going to see what we're talking about right now. It's like the Destiny update. It's going to get a Halo update that's just like, sorry, we can't have it run on the old gen. You can run it on cloud on the old gen. They get the xCloud to catch up enough and like really run well on. It's really going to be at people's internet connections that slow it down. I mean, it's already running really well on really high speeds.
Yeah, well, and I'm forced to play a game on only cloud for that. So, I don't know. This just the future at this point right now. The future does not look bright for Halo Infinite, which is sad. Yeah.
I was hoping.
And it bums me out because, like, man, I played Halo. Like, Halo 5 gripped me all year. I never stopped playing Halo 5. And I loved, like, Warzone and stuff. And there was just way more to Halo 5. There was Warzone. There was classic just arena. Like, I even missed, like, the arena from Halo 5 where it, like, launched you into the map. And you're in these, like, almost, like, blue, like, virtual...
Blood Gulch?
Yeah, no. It had these like the arena, like the 4v4. You would start and you would get launched in on these like launch pads, and you were in these like forge maps that were like very like basic looking. It was like almost looked like you were in a VR simulation. So there was a ton of stuff. There's just so much more to Halo 5's multiplayer than Halo Infinite. It's pretty embarrassing, actually, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, the future just doesn't look bright at this point, which is sad. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to say about Halo. Like, I look forward to hearing of the roadmap, but it needs to come, man. It needs to come now, or this game will have to do like a relaunch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
They might.
Yeah, I think they might. I think they might have to do, or they'll have like a big E3 showing for it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I really had down for like major news. A couple, I'm gonna add a kind of a new segment at the end. Not a long segment. We'll just kind of fly through it. But a couple notable mentions for the week that comes in kind of hot at the end before we start recording. But Elden Ring has released, and man, this game is maybe the highest rated game of the generation.
Ridiculous ratings.
At least for the Xbox One and PS4, the fact that it is on those consoles, but it is getting like it has like a 98 on Metacritic. So that's what is kind of like, it's like this game is universally been praised by everyone.
Yeah.
So. And it looks wild too. So there's some crazy stuff near the end. Also, Street Fighter 6 has been officially announced, but still not confirmed for the Xbox yet. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. But I have a feeling it's going to be PlayStation only. Something about Sony owning. Yeah, they'll be fighting in the streets, right? Also, March's games with gold have been announced. So we're getting Flame in the Flood, Street Power Soccer, those through backwards compatibility. Also the 360 titles, Scared 2, Fallen Angel, and SpongeBob Truth or Dare. So my son is looking forward to
try that out. Yeah.
Sacred 2.
Sacred 2?
Yeah, Sacred 2, Fallen Angel.
I know that Flame in the Flood was a cool looking indie game. Yeah.
I really much enjoyed Flame in the Flood quite a bit.
I'll play that one.
Yeah, no, I'd say try that out for sure.
For sure.
I want to try the Street Power Soccer. It looks like almost like you ever play like EA Street sports games where it's a little bit more arcadey?
A little bit. Yeah,
it's kind of like something like that. So it looks fun.
That'd be cool. Because I can get into sports games when they're a little more arcadey. Like I can play around a little more. I can button mash a little more and still succeed.
And Oliver has been like on such a SpongeBob kick. So the fact that they're adding a SpongeBob game, he'll love that. So hopefully...
My kids are going to be psyched about that. They've been watching that SpongeBob movie over again and on their tablets.
On Amazon Prime, they have the new movie up for free.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think they were watching that one.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yep.
Yeah. So, no, it's up there. The animation is amazing. The computerized animation for the SpongeBob movies is like awesome, in my opinion.
They did so good, and they had Keanu Reeves in it and everything.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a fun movie. Apparently, they're going to be pumping a ton of those out now. So,
okay.
But gotta sell those streaming services, right? So another short episode. The news has been quiet. A little bit for well, I guess when you decide to buy the entire industry in the first month of the year,
at that point,
things start kind of slowing down a bit. But no, games are starting to pick up. We're going to be having tons of release, and I think we're going to have a good March for Game Pass specifically. So we had a really good March last year. So I think it was March and April. That was really good. So, we'll talk probably more about this, but it looks like Sony is going to be kind of copying the day one release. They're getting a day one release of Shadow Warrior 3 next month on PlayStation Now. So,
that's funny.
The service wars have begun officially.
Shadow Warrior is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, Shadow Warrior. So that's a sweet get for them, for sure. That's why I think they were going to get a good March. So hopefully we get something really cool. But that's the show for this week. Dan, take us home.
Yeah. Just don't forget to smack that subscribe button on our YouTube page and tippity tap that like button. Comment on my sexy voice and this handsome, sexy man over here and his fancy new microphone stand.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like it. I can't wait to get one of those. I got to get a nice mic and then the good stand and everything too. Get that in here. Yeah. Find us on audio only on Spotify and Google Podcast. Just search relentlessly for Xbox North Podcast. We're also on Reddit, Instagram. Take a look for Xbox North Podcast. And for Twitter, @NorthXbox. Because why the hell would we make it easy for you?
There you go. All right.
Alrighty. Nighty-night, folks.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.